Yeah, what's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy, man. I just want to talk about this fight, Canelo and Crawford. That's gonna happen tonight on Netflix. I watched um, I watched the weigh-in yesterday, and they both look in a tremendous shape. Um, I know Canelo looks a little, he looks, you know, um, a lot of people think, oh, Crawford looks like Crawford looks bigger than Canelo. And then, but this is what I'm noticing. This is what I noticed, man. I think Canelo, the reason, he doesn't look like he's like super, like super big, but I think, yeah, he's coming in. He might looks a little light because I think he's gonna show a lot of people, man, another side, yeah, like another version of Canelo that we probably haven't seen in a while. You know what I'm saying? Because I know building up to this fight, a lot of people have Crawford stopping and knocking him out. Um, they're saying Canelo's done. Canelo has slow feet. Canelo, Crawford can do everything, right? So the way they've been marketing. Like as far as like the build up to this fight, the build up has been very good. Um, I believe they've been building up Crawford. They've been there's this perception that he's just invincible, and Canelo can't do nothing with him. So um, I'm thinking, man, personally, dude. Well, personally, I think Canelo. Don't be surprised if we see Canelo like within the first few rounds. Oh yeah, there's gonna be some filling out rounds. Okay, they're gonna fill each other out. There's not gonna be a lot of punches being thrown. But I think once we get around that fifth round, yeah, I think we're gonna see more openings, and I think we're gonna, I could probably see Crawford being the aggressor more, and we can I think Canelo gonna probably end up showing everybody, hey, y'all said I can't do this. Hey, I believe Canelo might want to outbox Crawford. He might end up doing that. That's why he looks a little lean. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and then like Crawford, yeah, he looks like a And my bad, y'all. I'm over here watching college football, but um, he looks like I said, he looks in like tip top shape, but he looks like I want to say like a bloated welterweight, man. Like he probably could have been fought at one. He probably could have been moved up. A long time ago and fought this weight class, but um, yeah. And then like I'm seeing a lot of these comments where it's on Facebook, and YouTube, man. A lot. I mean, I don't know. You got these so-called boxing experts and these boxing pundits, man. They all, man, these fanboys, they all picking Crawford, man. And I'm thinking, dude, everybody. I mean, if anybody's the underdog, it is Canelo. You know, everybody underestimate Canelo, and I think Canelo gonna shock a lot of people. I would not be surprised if he ends up, um, if he ends up, uh, like outboxing or maybe not outboxing, maybe out countering Crawford. Because I know in the history, we've seen guys move up weight classes. You know, that one interview Crawford did, he had mentioned guys like Pacquiao, Floyd, and De La Hoya. Now, and a few others now. Some of them other guys he mentioned, you see what they did was like, for example, Floyd Mayweather. He never skipped a weight class, and then no, he like I said, he started off at 130. He pretty much dominated that class, or what the best who they had in that weight class. Then he moved up the next class. Then you know he ended up moving up to 140. And did what he did. I'm trying to think of who else. You could probably say the same with De La Hoya. De La Hoya, I think, started off at welterweight. He moved up to 154. He went up to 160, and yeah, he never really skipped a class. Um, Matter of fact, hold on. Matter of fact, I'm trying to think. Didn't De La Hoya start at one? I forgot. I forgot. Like I said, any boxing experts, please let me know. I think De La Hoya started at 140, maybe. I forgot, but please let me know. But see, a lot of them guys, they didn't skip over an entire division after a year and a half off, and then fight. No, I think the last person that really did that skipped the weight class and fought at least a champion was Bernard. Like Bernard, he was the undisputed middleweight champion. He was there his whole career. Then he ended up, after those two losses to Jermaine Taylor, he ended up skipping 168 and then going up to fight Antonio Tarver. Now, with that fight, I think Tarver just got done playing the Rocky Balboa movie, so I think he was fighting it. He was walking around as a heavyweight, so he had to lose a lot of weight. But we ain't gonna get into that. But Crawford is getting older. He's getting older. He's been really inactive. Okay, he's fighting once a year. And you putting on all this muscle, you putting on all this weight. And like I said, at least what I'm saying, he never really had a tune-up. You know what I'm saying? So that, in my opinion, I think that's going to hurt him in the later rounds. So a lot of people think he can just he's just invincible. And after what he did at Arrow, but like I said, that's 147. He was there for for a while. People just want to forget he went up to 154 and couldn't even knock out Israel Madrimov. Okay, so the older you get, when you keep moving up in weight classes, you might lose some speed. You might lose the power that you once had. Like I said, Roy Jones, he was on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? He was dominating everybody at 175. He went up to heavyweight, even though he didn't fight the best heavyweight. He fought, he fought John Ruiz. He wasn't able to knock him out, but hey, he dominated him. He beat him. But in my opinion, man, I believe this layoff and him gaining all this weight, thinking they just gonna dog walk Canelo. I don't see it, man. And then a lot of people are really underestimating Canelo. Like they think he's just like a typical Mexican, like just a kung fu fighter. And I'm like, man, I believe people are really going to be. People ain't really gonna be in for a rude awakening come tonight, man. Or after tonight, I think Canelo, he might surprise a lot of people. He might outbox. He might try to outbox Crawford. He might show, okay, y'all saying I can't do this. Okay, fine. I'm gonna show y'all what I can do. I expect it to be a great fight. I could see this fight end up being like a Duran Hagler fight. A real close fight. with the bigger, with the bigger man winning, which will be Canelo. And I got Canelo win by decision. But um, do I say Crawford doesn't? I mean, Crawford has the tools to beat him. You know, like I really want Crawford to win because I can't stand Canelo. But um, it's just that Canelo has way, way more to lose. Matter of fact, he got everything to lose. you know, technically, if he wins, he still loses because people gonna be like, "Well, you're supposed to beat him." If he loses, I believe that's gonna really hurt his legacy. And he'll be damned if he let some guy come literally from 147, 154, and take his belts and ride off in the sunset. And he can't. Yeah, he has way too much to lose, and I think that's really, you know, I think that's why he really, really, really took this fight taking this fight really, really serious. I think he's going to show the world what he can really do and why weight classes, um, there's weight classes for a reason. I got Canelo winning by decision. I mean, this better not be one of them, them, like Crawford gonna bring it. Like I anticipate him being the aggressor. You know, we need to see how he can take them punches. Because Canelo's been at this weight class for like 7 years now. So, so hey, I expect it to be a good fight, man. I really do. So yeah, y'all let me know who y'all got winning. Y'all let me know how the fight is gonna go down. Like I said, I see like the first 2 rounds maybe. Um, of course, there's gonna be a lot of filling out. There might be some feints. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, because they're both very good at feinting, and they're very good counter punchers. So yeah, they're gonna be very, very cautious, and they're both gonna be giving a little bit too much respect. So I can probably see Canelo just. I mean, I expect it to turn up. Come around 5th or 6th round, but I could probably see Canelo taking over in the later rounds. I believe that weight is gonna be too much for Crawford, man. I mean, I wish he would have just taken the tune up, you know. But so yeah, I got Canelo winning by decision, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, peace.